specialist you would delegate. So why can't we do that in motherhood and not feel like we have to wear all the hats? So if you're really exhausted, first things first, you feel bad, would you feel less of an employee just because you have paperwork on your desk? You'll eventually get around to tidying it up and organising it. So same with kids, but that female gatekeeping idea. Did you follow?
You did it! Yay!
Guided sleep meditation for kids, but it's like a bedtime story for them. But they're actually meditating. They're focusing on their breath, that as well, so you can do that along with them. You don't always have to read the bedtime story, you have it read to them.
Are you exhausted and tired? Well, here you go. Here's some tips to get you through the day. One of those days, we can still turn it around. Some proven and tested ways from a stay-at-home mom with 2 girls and another one on the way. How to make it through the day when you're really tired, and some mom-to-mom tips.
Welcome back everybody to my lovely community. Thank you so much for joining me. This video is all for really exhausted mothers. If you're physically drained, your legs are tired, if you're just mentally at rock bottom, if you're just having a bad day, turn on this video and we'll get into some practical quick tips to turn around and save the day and get through those last few hours. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you would consider sticking around and subscribing. I do motherhood content, but I also do practical, ethical sales tips for holistic minded therapists, which means like if you're health focused, if you're about spa and beauty and all those lovely things, and self-development, healthy mindset as well. So if you like those kind of tips, there's plenty on the channel. I have loads of playlists as well. Queen mindset playlist, holistic lifestyle. So I also talk about treatments and what to get at your next spa visit. So it's not just for therapists, it's also for clients or other mothers as well. Right, let's get straight into these tips. Turn this on while you're going around the house, or if you're lying on the sofa and you're grabbing that 10-minute nap if you can, while the babies are safe. Turn this on in the background and we'll get you motivated and back in the game as much as you can. Some days you just have to give in and say goodbye to the day. You literally have to take it back to the basics if you're so tired and you can't think straight, you can't hold on to information, you're so exhausted. You just have to bring it back to complete basics and let go. Accept that's the day. Your one day is not the definition of your success as a mother. We put way too much pressure on ourselves. You just need more support and more help. If the support system isn't there, you just have to pay for it. I got so irate when I heard somebody say to me, our village as a mother, you have to pay for it nowadays. And I was like, the sense of where is our village, and it should be here. And it just help yourself. God helps those who help themselves. If it does mean having to pay for a cleaner, having to pay for a babysitter, you just do what you have to do so that know your own limits. If you were in running a business, you would delegate. You can't do accounts, or can't do like get a machine fixed, or you're not the specialist, you would delegate. So why can't we do that in motherhood and not feel like we have to wear all the hats? So if you're really exhausted, first things first, I've swapped some of my coffee consumption and done like try matcha tea, or cacao powder is really good as well to get the same kind of energy boost, or electrolytes. So I've done like I've actually put aloe vera juice and okra. I'll speak about okra as well for like it's really good for labour and birth. So okra is like a cucumber almost, but you put them into ice cubes and have it in your drink. So a lot, and put in a sachet of electrolytes. A lot of coffee consumption or like energy drinks, they're really high in sugar, or they're depleting your system. They give you like a false sense of caffeine boost and dopamine hit, but a lot of it can be you're very, very tired because you're dehydrated. You're eating all these carbs and sugary food, and that uses up a lot of your electrolytes and salts and minerals. Could you be low on could you need bath salts? Like magnesium is, if your muscles are, if your legs are tired and heavy. I think there's also like supplements you can get for your veins and your legs get so tired as a mother, like heavy, and not just being pregnant, but also if you're postpartum, it's like on your feet all day. So that's a great tip. Focus on your actual hydration, or take an actual hydration electrolyte supplement. Cut back on some of those like things that could be draining your body. Tea, coffee, just swap it up, try different drinks. When's the last time you tried a matcha? That's meant to give you energy. Or green tea is really good as well. My next tip, if you're in the middle of a crisis, middle of like a loud house, kids screaming, toys everywhere, mess everywhere, change of scene. Get out, change of scene. So whether that means like, sometimes I say add water, so get them like into the bathtub, or like a bowl of water, like a sensory bin, just water, or get outside, like go for a walk, go around your area if you can, go to a play centre if it's raining, or just out of the house, because sometimes your trigger is that you can't clean while they're playing and everything's a mess, and it's like for you it's very hard to work like in a messy space and have a clear head as well. It's a direct, like your environment affects you directly. Like if you were a tree or a plant and everything around you is like dispersed, all your soil is dispersed. If you get my metaphor, like it's too far away, the nutrients. So how are you meant to grow? How are you meant to function if there's no sunlight, if there's no, these basic things? So sometimes our environment is really influential. I speak so much in my videos about feng shui as well, and I've tried and tried again and again to do decluttering. With decluttering, I've learned it's an ongoing process. Keep doing it all the time. It's not a one day or once in a year you do. No, constantly declutter. Have like little baskets and bins that you're constantly saying, oh, that's old clothes, and have everything. I've done lots of cleaning videos like that, like have things point of sale, as I call it. Have everything handy. Do you have hooks by the door? Do you have those like decluttering bins in the bottom of the wardrobe, so it's straight away like you're reviewing an item and it's not a full day of a closet clear out. It's like am I wearing this? No, it's actually faded. It's actually this. It's not giving me great vibes. Why would you put mediocre clothes? Life's too short. Try to wear the best and let go of clothes and thank them. Yep, they serve their purpose, and if you keep doing that process, you'll end up actually buying more quality items in the long run. So don't feel guilty about, oh, I spent so much money on that. I have lots of cleaning videos I'll try link below as well, if you're into that kind of content. So yes, that's my second point. Get outdoors, change scene, check your environment. If you're in the middle of like screaming kids and complete overwhelm, I've been there, we've all been there as moms, where you don't admit it enough. There's this concept I'm trying to look into more about female gatekeeping, as in women not talking among each other fully, being fully authentic and fully honest. And is that coming from a sense of like competition? Is it jealousy? Is it wanting to appear like you have everything together? Obviously, if you're making a video for social media, like it's great to see reality, but you want to see like you appreciate like an art gallery, you appreciate beauty and you appreciate nice things. So it's nice to go on social media and have that break from reality and that aesthetic look. So I can understand why people, like, it's your private life as well. So why would you put up like all your personal mess? It's nice to like present something or have it clean, but that's not reality. So I think we can talk about the reality of that things come and go. Like there could be the start of the day, the house is tidy, and why is your self-worth or your like ability as a mother, like the kids are happy, it's not to do, you have to let that go, that association. Like it's like cleaning your desk in the office, sometimes it gets paperwork on it. Would you feel bad? Would you feel less of an employee just because you have paperwork on your desk? You'll eventually get around to tidying it up and organising it. So the same with kids, but that female gatekeeping idea, do you follow what I'm trying to say? That among women, are we being brutally honest? Are we actually, you know, why can't we be authentic? Like, why can't we be more relatable to each other? Like, we're all, like, there's great parts to motherhood, and then there's exhausting parts as well. Like, is it, you know, is there a reason that we're so private and not letting, same with like labour and birth. Like now with social media, it's more open about the reality, or like that a lot of younger girls don't know about the postpartum period. And like, is it called Lochia? That's, you know, the month of like how much you need to rest and how much you may excrete and bleed, and breastfeeding and all the like, they see you out in the street with a newborn baby and it looks like one version, but you've been up all night every 2 to 3 hours feeding, breastfeeding, and your body's changing, and hormones, and like the sheer roller coaster of it all. So that's another thing, another tip. So get out of the house, change the scene, get some hydration in the moment, but also pick up the phone, if you can connect with somebody or another mother and be authentic and just be like, having a tough day, or oh my god, I'm in the middle of this, lock yourself away in the bathroom if you can, if the kids are safe, and speak to another mother. Or you'd be so surprised, turn around to somebody at the playground if you're out, and sometimes a nod. You don't have to explain, sometimes a look or a nice nod of like their child's having a tantrum and yours having a tantrum, and they're one of those moments, just extending that courtesy and nod of not gatekeeping, not pretending everything is fine, and actually just acknowledging the other mother and finding that type of connection. Sometimes a moment, sometimes you don't have to say anything, it's just that oh, we're in this together, you're in the moment. It's not forever, it's only for a few years. It's their needs as children change. So at the start, when they're very young, it's so physically demanding on your body and on their body, and the needs are more physical. Then they develop into more emotional maturity needs, and then it's trying to meet the child's needs for like self-development, and like it becomes more of like a mental development game than their basic like survival, physical like nourishment. Yeah, now my next point is distraction. So you've done your change of scene, you've got fueled your body, you've tried to connect with a friend or taken a moment out. My other tip is, if you can, if the kids are safe, it's like, use that TV if you have to. This is a certain day, you have to, a tough, exhausted day, use what's available to you. If it means giving them the tablet or the TV, it's a last resort. There's so many educational programs. It's not all negative. It's not all like screen time. And if it means that you're able to come back in 10-20 minutes, in half an hour, and be fresher, and just have them distracted for a minute, or call in help, get help in. This is such a good tip. This is fabulous. Dance. Have a dance party. Put on music on the TV or music on your phone, and turn down the lights, have a disco. Anything that's going to change the vibe. Music is an instant vibe changer. Put on the bubble machine. Bubbles are brilliant. It's just like changing it up to get them to stop focusing on like if siblings are fighting among each other or the kids are crying. Use distractions. So change your environment, fuel your body, dance, change up the vibe. Music is a great one. Now my next tip is, if you can do anything like a shower and get dressed and make yourself like put on proper clothes, not pajamas, not house clothes, shoes around the house, you feel like you're about to leave and go out even if you don't know where you're going yet, or be on the move. Sometimes I'm like, go for a walk with the buggy, change. Often I found being on the move was actually easier to manage. That tip is not for everybody, that depends. So either putting on a sling, having the baby in a sling, or if your kids are a bit older, putting them in the car and going for a drive. Again, it's change of scenery. If you're exhausted, I know it takes a lot to put them into the car, but at least it's like a contained environment. And sometimes just going for a drive. You don't have to go anywhere specific, but if you can, get out to nature or walk, but just being on the move sometimes, like having them in the buggy means you can listen to, like, if they're safe, make sure the child is safe and looked after. And you can be listening to a podcast. You can be listening like 10-20 minutes of just something to pass the time and distract you. It can get you through a really tough day like that. So that was, yeah. So hydrate, basic needs for yourself, get dressed, do a dance party, use bubbles, use water, use all these distraction techniques, get out in nature, get out to a play centre, go somewhere, change a scene, go in the car. A lot of it is really asking yourself why you only feel productive if the house is clean or the kids are well behaved, or like how come you're not accepting that they can have a bad day. You can be having a bad day, that it's up and down, that not every day is going to be the same. Why does that make you so uneasy? Like, you can still have routine in your day and your days still be a little bit different, but a lot of times, yeah, if you're stay-at-home mom, it can get very, that mental drain of monotonous. It's like, could you imagine being a job like factory even, where it's like repetitive? It really gets to you, your mental mindset. You need stimulation, you need like change of topic. So a lot of motherhood is that mental game. Like, you have to build that in for you. You have to advocate for you. You have to set up that working environment. You are literally your own boss now. If you're stay-at-home mom, you have to put in your breaks. You have to take charge of your working day routine. But I totally get it. It's like a mental drain. Sometimes it's not that looking after kids is actually the task at hand is really difficult. It's not. Sometimes it's because it's so simple and repetitive, it's actually draining. So it's like, how do you bring in the variety? Do you go to different places? Do you go to different classes with the kids? Do you have something on that day? Plan something for that day. If you know, I'm going to be really tired that day, like, do your life with cycle syncing. I have a video all about cycle syncing as well, because especially postpartum, your hormones are up and down. So cycle syncing is looking at your monthly rhythms and syncing your life, organising events or agreeing or not agreeing to go to certain things depending on whereabouts in your cycle you are. If you're having a high energy week, you might be more social. If you're having a low energy week, you might be more like hermit mode and stay indoors, and that's okay. And to be flexible like that, and to put yourself first and embrace that and build that into, like, with the kids, okay, they still have to go to their extracurricular activities and you have to get them there, and your mommy taxi, and you're going from this place to that place. But maybe like picking extracurricular activities that are pay as you go, that 1 or 2 weeks of the month you can say no thank you and we'll do it next time, and that it's okay to show the children like downtime and rest is productive as well. So yeah, asking yourself that deep rooted question, check your mindset. Why is my like energy levels or satisfaction of the day like related to my productivity? Where does that come from? Like, just, it always feels good to be productive. Like things like make your bed, getting dressed, having a simple like really 5-minute makeup, or like extremely simple outfit, mummy outfit, uniform. I spoke about that in another video as well, so check that out. All about like setting yourself up for success with having these automated things in place, like having your eyebrows and eyelashes done as an investment, as in some kind of treatment where they're either tinted or long term where it's not makeup every day, like tattoo on the eyebrows and stuff. If you can do those kind of investments, or laser hair removal, they're like great investments to do to save you time in the future. That you're not showering every morning, or thinking about those things where you can throw on a dress in the summer and not have to worry about your lower legs being hairy, things like this. So it's just like automated, because a lot of exhaustion can come from decision fatigue, constantly having to decide what to wear, constantly having to decide, you know, where to go, what to do. So have your favorite have a bucket list of activities. I actually write them on the side of my fridge. It's like places I want to go, places I want to do, things I do, like just to prompt your memory. Sometimes when you're so exhausted, you just can't decide where to go, and you end up going to either, your regular places, or like you don't know what to do in the house. And sometimes it's that little jog of the memory. Go try like a sensory bin, put pasta in a plastic box and give the baby a spoon. Sorted. You'll get 10-15 minutes. If they're older, where's the colouring books? Like sometimes just even that word, colouring books or bubbles, or put them in the bath, or put them out in the garden. Things like a trampoline, like have these go-to things that sometimes you just need a prompt because your brain is so tired. We understand, we've all been there. My other tip is to get the children involved in chores around the house. Like lots of, even toddlers can pull clothes, laundry out of. It takes sometimes a little bit longer, but if you do this on a regular practice and try get them involved, like my eldest daughter, I'll get her to sweep up, and I don't feel guilty about it because I'm actually teaching her what's involved in a household. Not to an extent of child labour, obviously, but getting them to do chores and help you out. Sometimes, yes, it can cause more of a mess or take longer to do, and you get frustrated and you're like, let me just do it quickly. But think of it as entertainment or an activity for them, and you're actually teaching them so much more. But it can help you if you do it regularly, like definitely laundry, putting their plate in the dishwasher, putting their plate up on the counter even. I've seen these cool, I'd love to get this now, it's like a cereal dispenser, so they can get their own breakfast, like all these Montessori methods. Montessori is like a philosophy with children. It's to teach them independence, to teach them gives them dignity, gives them like self-confidence. If you've ever seen these clips, oh my god, there's so many. It's obviously cultural, but I've seen so many clips of other kids in different countries, especially Asian countries, where they're like so productive. The kids are doing like unbelievable things, like they're so like little grown-ups basically. So we incorporate a bit of that. So if you're really exhausted, try to get the kids to use chores as an activity. Window cleaning, get them to wash the car, spray the window and a wipe. That's really easy for them to do, and it gives them an activity and it gives you a break, mental break, a few minutes, gets you through the day. So have a list of those activities ready to go. And another thing is take a nap on the couch. If you're there, let the children play around you, but you're still there, you're present, because a lot of exhaustion comes from that sense of responsibility. It's like a security guard. If he's on duty, sometimes, yeah, if it's on the night shift and like there's no threat, but if there was a threat, that's where his job is, to step in. So you're kind of always on guard. You're kind of always have that sense of responsibility when you're looking after kids. So that's where the exhaustion, I think, comes from, is being on mode. A full break is like completely quiet house, kids away, full rest, not having to, like lying down or having an hour's break and stuff. That's a break. That's not genuine time off. Like you love your kids, but a lot of the day-to-day, looking after them, especially if you're stay-at-home mom, is like a job. So let's treat it like a job and speak up for yourself, and you're entitled to annual leave as well. Another fabulous tip is to get the kids, especially at night time, into either in the evenings, like have quiet time, wind down time. Are they into yoga? You can get kids yoga, put that on, and you can do it with them. Mindfulness or meditations. So I found some really great channels which are like guided sleep meditation for kids, but it's like a bedtime story for them, but they're actually meditating. They're focusing on their breath, that as well, so you can do that along with them. You don't always have to read the bedtime story, have it read to them. Use technology to your advantage, or pre-record a bedtime story on your phone and play that to them, so it's your voice, and they can follow along with the book. But I found that always very tiring at the end of the evening, trying to get in a bedtime story and reading to them. So that's where my trusted friend YouTube and would come in. Or another great tip is like video chat. Let kids like chat with their relatives or their friends, obviously monitored and time limited, because it's a screen and kids' brains aren't developed to manage screens as long as we can. So like 10 minutes or something, that it's like use a video chat. That was a great one I learned through lockdown. It was like let them chat, because it's a video, it's like interactive with their friends or with their like relatives. That can really help as well. But yeah, using mindful practices, or like a nature walk, getting them to do like a treasure hunt. These are great ideas to entertain them, but for yourself, to make your life easier on an exhausted day, have a pre-recorded bedtime story, or have a guided meditation, or turn on like a yoga class for the kids. If you're really, really exhausted, sometimes nutrition, or like without reaching for sugar, there's like herbal supplements, Korean ginseng, or you can get like ginseng herbal tea, or like mood boosting supplements that can help. They will all give you like that boost that you may need. Or even a smoothie with like healthy ingredients, or green juice, or like a pre-made one that you can get in the shop, even that it's like convenience as well. A lot of exhaustion can come from having to think of meal ideas. So food, those meal ideas, thinking of them is like, just have a list of your basic simple menu. We tend to actually only eat like 5 or 6 of the same similar meals, so have like a base meal that you like, then mix up 1 or 2 of the ingredients. That it's just getting rid of that decision fatigue of having to think what's for dinner. Use the slow cooker, the air fryer, all these tools that are like helpful. Or like a lot of butchers will, or a lot of supermarkets will sell like a tray that has dinner in it. already made. So it might be meat and vegetables that you put in the oven. Simple. You don't have to cut anything up, you don't have to prepare anything. It's tray in the oven and it's still healthy. So having those go-to meals ready to be available for you, have some in the freezer, organized like that, or just to think of, or take them out for dinner. Take them out. That's my favorite. Take them out for food if you can. Obviously that can lead to a lot of fast food, but some days if you're so exhausted, just that change of scenery of eating something novel. So my go-to micro tasks are those little things that you can get done in less than 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Even when you're tired, they're just automatic no-brainers, but they give you a boost. At least something is done. So I have the toys set up in a way that everything goes in a basket, then it's clean. Not having all these multiple steps to like getting a place clean, and then the area is just tidy. So to focus on tidying and not always focus on hygiene and cleaning to get help with that, or like the counters in the kitchen, have them clean, like to spray something down and wipe it, but just that spraying down the table, like having those go-to micro tasks that give you a little boost that you've completed something. Make your bed, kitchen counters, wiping down the kitchen table, a quick tidy, things in baskets, like if the shoes are all messy, throw them into a basket, but it's clean. If you're a neat freak, I know you want to organize them and categorize them, but sometimes all in one, or like instead of folding laundry, even clean fresh laundry, put it in a laundry basket. Like it doesn't always have to be folded, but at least you're getting it from the laundry area, the washing area, up to the bedroom. Or sometimes leaving a basket ready to go on the landing around the back to people, or replying, or even like instead of sitting down and doing a to-do list for yourself, like voice memos can help as well. Then my next tip for that really exhausted day is to have something in your week that gives you energy. So a lot of times it's not that we need more rest and more time out, it's that we actually need more energy giving activities, like a hobby, a planned like day out, or planned like something for you, a planned visit, or something simple, my eyebrows or my nails getting done. Well, I love obviously spa treatments and beauty, and I use that as a hobby. But even as a mum, if you can't get away with kids, I find that really difficult to find appointments with availability where you can bring your child in with you. Micro tasks basically to give you a little boost. Now my next tip, super cool, is voice notes. Sometimes your brain is making you so tired because you have so many to do things, to open tabs. So when you're like, you see all these messages on your phones, you want to connect with people, you want to get back to them, a voice note, it shows them that you've acknowledged it. You can say so much more, you can talk much quicker, especially with kids around. Well, obviously noise is an issue, but sometimes instead of sitting and typing, you can actually say so much more. So isn't it better for somebody to get a voice note then and no reply? Try it out. It's not for everybody. Some people hate doing voice notes. It's a personal thing, but I found that a great tip to manage. Like, I ended up having to either have my eldest daughter have her nails done as well, and not every place does that. A lot of them don't want kids on their premises, which is really hard to deal with, or if they're in the buggy and the salon is small and narrow, like they're missing out on that custom. But have something for you basically planned in the week that you can look forward to, whether that's a walk alone, or you're going to take that hour out and listen to the podcast, or get up an hour earlier, or say one day a week you get up before the kids get up and you use that time while the house is quiet. You don't need to do it every morning. This 5 a.m. club of mothers can be really tough to, but each to their own. So people love that they have that, they carve out that quiet time, and in the morning before the kids get up can work for some. Other people do it I find very late at night, all the kids are in bed, and then you have that time for yourself. So whatever suits your system better, if you're a morning or night owl, that you just have, you could even just say once or twice a week that you do that. That will give you energy, knowing you have something to look forward to. and reminding yourself of that when you're in the middle of a really, really tough day. So if you don't have the kids involved in cooking or making, so another great tip when you're exhausted is to turn making dinner into an activity. So homemade pizza, or get the kids to decorate a cookie with icing, and sometimes, yes, it can make more mess or a little bit of setup, but if the activity is also making dinner, it's like a 2-for-1, and it can help you. And then they're less fussy. If you get them involved and you have a fussy eater, but they made the pizza or they made the dinner with you, and they're more likely to eat it. That's a great tip. Also, if you're think of the dinner, for example, if you're making breakfast, you could have parts of dinner cooking with your breakfast, if that makes sense. Like if you're putting on eggs for breakfast, you could put on hard-boiled eggs as well. Like if all the pots and pans are out and ready to go anyway, you could be making breakfast and set up the slow cooker. Sometimes it's easier in the momentum to keep going, so to do components. Or you could be, if you're heating up the oven for your breakfast or lunch anyway, you can throw on extra meat on the bottom shelf, and that's for dinner. So components of your dinner, you don't have to cook the whole thing, or you can make the salad later, but at least doing that can help with exhaustion level, whereas the meat is already pre-cooked if you like things fresh, or if you're very organized. And you can do food prepping, those bigger items, things that hold well, that can be pre-cooked, and then do like fresh sides or side dishes like salads and stuff there and then. So then dinner preparation is reheating and heating up that meat, but the sauce is done from before, and it's now you're just doing that salad. So assume you're going to be more tired later in the day, or assume you're going to be tired, so give yourself that. If you're having a good day and you're really motivated and you're having lots of energy that day, try get some food prep done, or thinking ahead a little bit. Only kind of 2 to 3 meals ahead. Otherwise, if you're trying to think of everything, it gets really overwhelming. Another fabulous, great tip is have a snack station. Like the kids will snack. Kids are grazers. Let them eat. They burn off the calories so quick that it's always, even if they have like their friends over, or it's always like snacks, literally they want so much. So have something they can grab, like oranges, apples, bananas, those easy to open and easy to grab fruit, or like pre-cut fruit, watermelon, pineapple slices, things like that for them to eat. Berries, obviously grapes, be careful, cut them up. They can be a choking hazard, so always be like thinking of snacks for them. Raisins, little things of like cereal in little containers can be a great snack. But have a snack station, have it ready to go, that they don't need to ask you all the time, and you don't need to go get them a snack. They can get it for themselves. Again, like I talked about earlier, that Montessori method, bringing in independence and self-sufficiency into the kids as much as possible. Obviously sometimes when they go to get a snack, they'll make a bigger mess, but have something like what a lot of moms I've seen do, especially over the summer holidays, is to continue to pack a school lunch, a lunch box, like a snack box, basically, to have that ready to go. If you're in the habit of doing that in school term times every evening, or even if you're like doing homeschooling, to maybe have like a lunch box of snacks and prepared for the day. In the morning when you're doing breakfast, think of snacks for them. What else is really good? Like nuts and seeds for them, if they can eat those, or like cereal bars, oat bars, flapjacks, little egg muffins or little cakes. Can you bake some of them, that they're healthier and not full of sugar or salt, as much as possible? There's so many recipes out there. Banana bread, stuff that's easy for them to snack on, so that there's not that. A lot of tiredness can come from hungry. They're hungry and angry, and that can lead to a lot of like their blood sugar levels are up and down, and that can lead to a lot of tantrums as well. A lot of times it's food related and nutrition related. Another tip is to have like fill up their water bottle, or have little juice drinks, so you don't have to go get a glass each time and pour them a drink. That it's like stuff is ready to go. So think convenience, think ease, and these will help you get through a really tough, exhausting day. The more tips, the merrier. So pop some of them down in the comments below if you have something that you think could help other mums. Have you not been there before? Don't do the female gatekeeping and like keep all this information for yourself. Pop in the comments. You could make somebody's day. You could really help a mother who's like just losing it and feeling like she can't get it together, and all she needs to hear is this like quick practical tip. Try this, and it just gets in through the next hour. And then they might have a much better day the next day. So pay it forward. Why are we keeping all this good information to ourselves? Like, there's no need. Help another mom. You don't know who. We have this fantastic tool of we can communicate across countries with each other. Use social media for that purpose, as in this wealth of knowledge that we can transfer and make our village has now become global. So pop in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that. I'm open to more tips as well. I send them on. I need as many as I can get with baby 3 on the way. So I appreciate all your feedback and your help. And let me know if there's a particular other topic you'd like me to cover, if you want me to go into more detail in any of these tips given in this video. If you enjoy this longer kind of podcast style, come with me tips or motherhood, or do you want more focus on mindset? Do you want more focus on like motivation, inspiration? What is it you'd like to see? What is a more content you'd like to see out there? Even if it's not my channel, I can recommend other channels where I found that. What are you currently struggling with as a mother? Is it this exhaustion, or do you feel you have that covered? Let us know in the comments below, and I can even recommend other channels that I've found if it's a topic that you'd love to see covered, and hopefully we'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for listening. Another great tip I have is the ancient practice of knipe therapy or cryotherapy. So that sounds all really fancy, but all it is cold water. All it is using cold or heat to boost your circulation. So pop your feet into a bucket of cold water, splash your face with cold water, put your forearms in the sink with cold water, get an ice pack and put the ice pack like around your neck or on your wrists. And what it does is, like, that spot treatment of cold actually shocks your system a little bit, shocks in a good way, and it like flushes out toxins and gets the circulation going. So yes, it comes from like therapy treatments and that cold plunge or like a cold shower, but those little tricks, like sometimes managing a whole cold shower is like, that's a tough mental challenge now. You really have to be into cold therapy or Wim Hof method to really be able to breathe through that and do the full, like jumping into a bath of ice. It's one extreme. You can do it in those smaller methods, like splash your face with ice cold water. That freshens you up. These micro little like tweaks, micro little like just motivators, or running this resets your nervous system as well. It's like running your wrists under ice cold water from the sink. You're just having a really tough moment, and whatever it is, it just pulls you out of your head and into your body. It's like your wrists are the veins, they're exposing the blood. It's like it's the easiest place. The skin is thinner, and it's like they can take in that temperature change, and the temperature boosts circulation and makes your blood flow faster. It gets the nutrients to your brain. It's just a distraction technique. It's so good. If you're just having, the kids are shouting and the kids are this, and you just need quiet minute to yourself, that really resets your nervous system. A lot of exhaustion in our mood is like our body, so it's using all these biohacking methods, like what sports people do, but mothers can use them too. It's very physically demanding. They're long days. Like if somebody said, oh, let me sign you up for 16-18 hour shifts on your feet, like if you're a nurse or a caretaker, you know exactly what I mean. Even a lot of beauty holistic therapists, it's physically demanding, so use these tools. Another great tip is if you're having a really tough day, is aromatherapy. Use things around your house like your diluted, obviously, and go check with your health food shop or your aromatherapy expert all about like the right combination, like not to use oils neat on your skin. So what aromatherapy is like plant-based extracts, like they're concentrated oils and essences from plants, and they have natural healing properties. There's so much research. It's such an ancient practice. They used to use it in Egyptian times. And some of these can be like tea tree oil. Tea tree oil can be lavender, all these plant-based can be antiviral, antifungal. They even said that aromatherapy was used in perfumes. They were trying to use it to create perfumes, but it was during the time of the plague in Europe, and a lot of the people who were working with getting these aromatherapy extracts, they withstood a lot of, they didn't get as sick basically, because these plants it's medicinal. So basically put lime or lemon, any uplifting, geranium. You can check and get somebody to advise you on a blend, or you can get pre-blended oils, which are great because they'll have 2 or 3. It's like a perfume with a top note, a longer lasting one, like middle, and then that base note, which is so good to have around the home. They're not artificial fragrances. They actually have healing, medicinal, like herbal medicine type properties, but that can give you that energy boost. That zesty citrus smells really can help boost your mood. And again, all these tips in combination are going to give you that toolkit that you can just pull out. Okay, let me try this, let me try that, anything to get through the day. And before you know it, time has passed, the mood passes, the mood and the feeling of exhaustion will pass, and there'll be another day where you will get proper sleep and rest, and your perspective will change. So remembering that, and it won't be forever, if that's any consolation in the moment. All you want is a shift, a change. So use those aromatherapy oils along with these other tips. Thank you guys for listening. If you found these tips helpful, write in the comments below which one, or add your own one, and let other women know what tips help you get through a long day, especially when minding kids, and let others know in the comments, and spread the wisdom, spread the knowledge, and we'll hopefully see you in one of my other videos. So until next time, thank you so much for tuning in.